global drug trade has been dominated by several notorious cartels over the past 2 decades, each leaving a trail of violence and destruction in their wake. This article will compare 3 of the most violent drug cartels from 2000 to 2023, focusing on the Sinaloa Cartel from Mexico, the United Way State Army, UWSA from Myanmar, and the Primeiro Comando da Capital, PCC from Brazil. Sinaloa Cartel. The Sinaloa Cartel, based in Mexico, has long been considered one of the most powerful and violent drug trafficking organizations in the world. Founded in the late 1980s, the cartel rose to prominence under the leadership of Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, who became infamous for his daring prison escapes and ruthless business tactics. Operations and reach. The Sinaloa Cartel's operations span across continents, with a significant presence in North and South America, Europe, and increasingly Asia. They are known for trafficking cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, and marijuana. In recent years, the cartel has also become heavily involved in the production and distribution of synthetic opioids like fentanyl. The cartel's expansion into Asia began in the early 2000s, when El Chapo created import and export networks, establishing connections with Chinese gangs in Hong Kong. This strategic move has allowed the Sinaloa Cartel to tap into new markets and diversify their operations. Violence and tactics. The Sinaloa Cartel's reign has been marked by extreme violence and corruption. They are known for their brutal tactics, including assassinations, kidnappings, and torture. The cartel has been involved in numerous turf wars with rival organizations, leading to thousands of deaths across Mexico. One of the most notable incidents occurred in January 2024 in Guayaquil, Ecuador, where gangs associated with the Sinaloa Cartel kidnapped correctional officers and invaded a TV station. This unprecedented wave of violence demonstrated the cartel's willingness to use terror tactics to maintain control over key territories. Current status. Despite the capture and extradition of El Chapo to the United States in 2017, the Sinaloa Cartel remains a dominant force in the global drug trade. The organization has shown remarkable resilience, adapting to leadership changes and continuing to expand its operations worldwide. United Way State Army, UWSA. The United Way State Army, based in Myanmar's Shan State, is one of the largest and most powerful drug trafficking organizations in Southeast Asia. While less globally recognized than its Latin American counterparts, the UWSA has played a significant role in the production and distribution of narcotics in the Golden Triangle region. Operations and reach. The UWSA controls a large autonomous region in Myanmar known as the UWSA State. This area has been a major source of opium and methamphetamine production. The group has leveraged its control over this territory to become a key player in the regional drug trade. In recent years, the UWSA has shifted its focus from opium to synthetic drugs, particularly methamphetamine. This transition has allowed the group to increase its profits and expand its influence across Southeast Asia and beyond. Violence and tactics. While the UWSA's violence may not be as widely reported as that of Latin American cartels, the group has a history of using force to maintain control over its territory and drug operations. The UWSA has been involved in numerous conflicts with the Myanmar military and other ethnic armed groups in the region. The group's tactics often involve intimidation and coercion of local populations, forced recruitment, and the use of child soldiers. The UWSA has also been accused of human rights abuses and environmental destruction in the areas under its control. Current status. As of 2023, the UWSA remains a significant force in the Southeast Asian drug trade. The group has benefited from the political instability in Myanmar following the 2021 military coup, which has allowed it to strengthen its position and expand its operations. The UWSA's shift towards synthetic drug production has made it a major supplier of methamphetamine to markets across Asia and beyond. This has led to increased scrutiny from international law enforcement agencies, but the group's entrenched position in the UWSA state continues to provide it with a degree of protection. Primeiro Comando da Capital, PCC, the Primeiro Comando da Capital, or First Capital Command, is a Brazilian criminal organization that has risen to become one of the most powerful and violent drug cartels in South America. Founded in 1993 in Sao Paulo's prison system, the PCC has expanded its influence far beyond Brazil's borders. Operations and reach. The PCC's operations are primarily centered in Brazil, but the group has established a significant presence in other South American countries, particularly Paraguay and Bolivia. The cartel is heavily involved in cocaine trafficking, controlling key routes from production areas to major ports. In recent years, the PCC has been expanding its international reach, particularly towards Europe and Africa. The group has reportedly become the primary interlocutor for European organizations sourcing cocaine supplies from Brazil, including the Italian Ndrangheta. Violence and tactics. The PCC is known for its highly organized structure and use of extreme violence to maintain control over its territories and drug routes. The group has been responsible for numerous prison riots, assassinations of rival gang members and law enforcement officials, and large-scale attacks on Brazilian cities. One of the PCC's most notorious tactics is its ability to coordinate simultaneous attacks across multiple locations. In 2006, the group orchestrated a series of attacks in Sao Paulo that paralyzed the city and resulted in the deaths of dozens of police officers and civilians. Current status. As of 2023, the PCC remains one of the dominant criminal organizations in Brazil and a major player in the global cocaine trade. The group's influence extends throughout Brazil's prison system, where it continues to recruit members and coordinate operations. The PCC's expansion into international markets has made it a target for law enforcement agencies worldwide. However, the organization's decentralized structure and deep roots in Brazilian society have made it resilient to attempts to dismantle it. Comparative analysis. While these three cartels operate in different regions and have distinct origins, they share several common characteristics that have contributed to their longevity and violence. Number 1. Diversification. All three groups have shown the ability to adapt to changing market conditions. The Sinaloa Cartel and PCC have expanded into new territories and drug types, while the UWSA has shifted from opium to synthetic drugs. Number 2. Territorial control. Each cartel maintains a stronghold in a specific region, which provides a base for their operations and a degree of protection from law enforcement. Number 3. International reach. While their core operations remain in their home countries, all three cartels have established international networks, allowing them to expand their influence and profits. Number 4. Use of extreme violence. Each group has employed brutal tactics to maintain control over their territories and drug routes, leading to significant loss of life and social disruption in their areas of operation. Number 5. Resilience. Despite leadership changes and law enforcement efforts, these cartels have demonstrated remarkable ability to adapt and persist. The global reach and violence associated with these cartels underscore the ongoing challenges in combating international drug trafficking. As these organizations continue to evolve and expand, coordinated international efforts will be crucial in addressing the threat they pose to global security and public health.